The imparfait and the pluscuparfait are two most important tenses, I would say, in the l'indicatif mode. We have already done passé composé. It is somewhat is a completion to the passé composé, yet it is complementary to passé composé. It's a required tense. As passé composé talks about on the actions which took place in the past, but on specific occasion. Specific occasion means they are completed, they are not lingering on further. But imparfait, that is a tense which plays a bit different role. Why? Because it is used to describe a state of mind. I was confused. You will use imparfait for that. Being in the past. What was your state of being? I was sick. I was happy. I was nervous. I was crying. All imparfait. As well as the continuous action, the repeated action, or the habitual past action. All are going to be in passé, imparfait only. Like the action, you say, I used to go for a walk. That was your habit, but that was in the past. That is also the part of imparfait. I was studying in fifth standard. Here, in this action also, I was studying in fifth standard. It is a continuous action in the past. There is no end, maybe. So even in that case, you are going to use imparfait. The repeated action or the habitual past action both belong to this category. Used to go for a walk. When it comes to the formation, it is actually easier. What you need to do is you just need to take the new form of the present tense. For this, you should be able to, conjugate all the verbs in at least their present state, the simple present, l'indicatif présent. So you will take the new form of that in the present tense and will remove the ONS from that form. Simply. You take the new form and you will remove the ONS from that form. The ending, which then gives you the stem. That is to be given the ending will form the imparfait. And what are the endings that we are going to use over here? Once you remove the ONS, you will simply put AIS for je, AIS for tu, AIT for ill and on, three of them, IONS for nu, IEZ for wu, AIENT for ill and l, plurial, which is like this. First, parler, to speak. In the first step, we will see the nu form, which is nous parlons. That is a simple conjugation in the present l'indicatif. According to the rule, we need to drop this ONS. Okay, remove the ONS, we got the stem, which is PARL, parle. Just like any other conjugation, we will write only the rules. Je parle, simple. Je parle, everywhere, you can see. Tu parles, I'll drop this, just underline this. Je parle, tu parles, il, elle parle, you can put the on also. Nous parle, vous parle, and il, elle parle. Now, we just put the endings. This is the part you need to remember. These endings only. AIS, then again AIS for tu part, AIT for illelong part, IONS for nu, IEZ for wu, and AIENT for illenl. When it comes to their sound, again, just like the present tense, only nu and wu sound will change. The rest of them are almost same. Like here, it will become je parlais, Tu parlais. Il, elle parlait. Nous parlions. Vous parliez. Il, elle parlait. So these four specifically, je, tu, il, and plurial il. They have the same sound of pronunciation. Different for nu and vu only. Just like the present tense. Okay. Now, the verbs with spelling changes. We know in the regular form, in présent l'indicatif, we have some ER verbs which are spelling changing verbs, like CER, GER. Those rules are intact here. Verbs with the spelling changing in the present tense nu form, such as manger, commencer. In the verb GER ending verbs, we usually have a rule that we add an extra E at the nu position. So that E will be here throughout, just not at two subject pronouns, that is nu and vu. Otherwise, for je, tu, il, elle, and plurial il, elle, that extra E has to be there in the conjugation. Like here you can see with je, for encourager, that E, extra E, which was on the nu position, is there. Because if we have to write the conjugation of encourager, so for nu position, it would be encourager. This is the infinitive. Here we drop er, but we put eons instead of just putting ons. If this is the nu form, from this raw nu form only, according to the rule over here, we need to remove just and just ons. So let's drop ons from here. Once we drop ons, this is the whole stem we get. So that is why the whole spellings are there. J'encourageais. Elle exigeait. Il partageait. You can see the E everywhere. Similarly, for CER form, there was a rule that you need to take the sidal form of it. So for avance also, there was sidal ONS. So if you drop ONS, you got the sidal part. And like this. Let us say that we are writing it for avance. For ER form, we drop ER and we put the ONS. But for CER verbs, these are the spelling changing verbs. So just to keep the sound safe and soft, we put a sidil over here instead of just putting the C simply. So once you drop ONS, you get these spellings. Avance. So you will put it accordingly. You can see the sidil form here everywhere. However, the extra E and sidil are not needed in the nu and vu forms in the l'imparfait. Like nous nagions, we swam. Nous protégions, we protected. Nous commencions, we started. Vous effaciez, you erased. Don't confuse it with the passé composé just by looking at the second form or use of ed, because the further sentence can make a difference. Passé composé has a real ending. That is a one-time event. But the imparfait, that is the imperfect tense, it is a wave in time which you cannot catch. It's a ripple in time in the past. But passé composé is just like a moment you can take a picture and store it. That's the big and the whole difference between the passé composé and imparfait. Moving further, depending on the context, you could have different meaning for the imparfait. Like if you want to say she was doing something, she used to do, means it was a past continuous action and it was the past habitual action. Both need to translate in imparfait only. And then she did also, because the later half of the sentence can make a difference if it doesn't have a particular ending. Again, don't confuse it with passé composé because there it will give you a definite ending. So we'll take the verb in the consideration. If you see the main verb, which is to do is faire, faire, and its conjugation in the nous form is simple, nous faisons. So according to the rule, if I just drop the ONS and take the radical, which is this, FAIS, according to the L part, I need to put the ending AIT. So it just become elle faisait. This is how you make the imparfait. Note, there is only one verb which is irregular here. Only one, which is être. Rest can be made like this because in être, nous form doesn't contain any ONS. So that's why it does have an irregular stem. Here also, the stem is E T, E accent T. That's it. That is what you need to remember because the rest of the endings are same. You can see it here. AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. In the pronunciation, also follow the rule. J'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. Last three are subject to the liaison. That's why we have to connect the sound. Nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. That's it. The rest of them are going to be conjugated according to the rule. We already have learned the usage of the imperfect tense. Now, let's learn in which other cases it can be used. So, the different use of imparfait is to also give the background and a description. अगर आपको कोई story बतानी है, if you have to set a background and a tone also, in the past, that is going to be in imparfait only. It also does describe the situation that existed in the past that we have already discussed, the state of mind and a state of being. For example, the streets were jammed. It is a description, background description. So, les rues were jammed. It is the past form of être. Plural hai, so that's why était. Jammed, embouteillé. Les rues étaient embouteillées. The traffic was flowing. That is again a state. Okay. La circulation, which is traffic, était fluide. And to give the state of weather also, you have to use the imparfait. It was too hot. So il fait will get converted into il faisait. We have just an example that was the case of the il faisait over here. Now you need to drop ONS over here and then it becomes the il faisait trop chaud. It was too hot. Your state of being, he was so hungry or he was hungry, that is the state of being of somebody. We generally conjugate it with avoir. So if you just drop the nous form in the avoir also, you will get the same type of the description here. We know that is going to be nous avons. Okay. And if you drop the ONS from this part, you get AV as your stem. So this AV will take AIT because you know with il we need to put the ending AIT. So il avait faim. He was hungry. She didn't know what to do. Elle ne savait pas quoi faire. To know here is savoir. Okay, because we are talking about an action afterwards. So savoir, nous savons. There also you need to drop ONS just like this. You will add an S here. avant in front of avant. So that will become the stem for this verb. So with SAV, you will put AIT as an ending because with L, you have to give again AIT as an ending. So, elle ne savait pas quoi faire. She didn't know what to do. Tomorrow, we are going to cover imparfait versus passé composé. So, I'll give you a chance to review it all and come prepared with the imparfait tomorrow because tomorrow we are going through an important part again, which is to compare and we'll march forward towards the plusquamparfait.